The world we live in is not linear. I mean, anything can go and anything probably is permissible in this world. And I know Paul said not everything is beneficial. What I'm saying is that you never know, just like the wind, you never know where an idea is going to come from. And you never know how it's going to revolutionize not only your life, but the lives of other people around you. But that idea normally is not yours. It doesn't come from your own head. Ideas are not owned by our own heads. They don't come from our own hearts and our own heads. Ideas are normally broadcast into our spirits, into our hearts, and into our minds through the channel of instinct. I mean, if we learn to be having this heightened form of instinct where we download ideas, we download divine ideas from the invisible realm into the world and we start running with them. Each and every one of us has this opportunity to do that. And by the way, the beauty of life is that you can just download about anything, depending on what passion you have or how passionate you are about it, and you can run with it. I want to continue talking about this message of instinct today, and today we'll deal with why people do not trust their instincts. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
How beautiful it will be, ladies and gentlemen, if we can get a direct line with the divine and we can download things from the invisible realm, things that we can be able to do and run with. See, the issue is that we are living in this empirical physical world, but the things that normally operate, things that normally cause things to operate in this physical world of ours, normally are the invisible, unfelt things. And we download them in our spirits and we start running with them. They are coming to us in form of inspiration and in form of ideas. And the thing is that we can have that level where we can actually have a direct line. And that direct line I'm positing, it is already there. It is called instinct. It is through instinct that we know what we need to do, and it comes into our spirits, it comes into our hearts, and we run with them. The thing is, we don't trust our instincts. That's what I want to discuss today. We don't trust our instincts. You had an idea about something, and I'm going to be talking about idea and instinct interchangeably, because I think instinct is the one that brings forth ideas and so on and so forth. And so you have an idea for something, or you instinctively felt to move in a certain direction, but you don't, or you don't trust that inner voice, that still small voice, so to speak. You don't trust it. And guess what? Few months down the line, you see something that you were communicated to through instinct. You see it on the streets, probably maybe even in a worse condition than you had downloaded it, first of all, yourself. I've had that done in my life several times. What I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that this world has the empirical and also the invisible world. If you are passionate about a project right now, probably what you're doing right now is a ministry to the widows. Guess what? It came to you through instinct. Probably you have this big business idea, and what you're doing is being a blessing into the lives of children through education. Guess what? It was communicated to you through instinct. I posit to us, friends, that we do things on earth physically because they have been directed by the Spirit. There is the spiritual world, and then there is the physical world we're living in. And we're supposed to be attuned so very much to the spiritual world. It is always broadcasting. Look at the frequencies of a radio station. Right now, you might be in a situation where there are very many frequencies. In fact, where you are seated, there are very many frequencies in the air. There are military frequencies, there are radio frequencies, and so on and so forth. The only thing that you need to do is to get a transistor radio and switch it on and start tuning. The moment you're tuning, you get very many FM stations, AM stations, whatever it is. But they're there. The same thing with the spiritual and the physical. We are the conduits through which the frequencies can be downloaded. And when they're downloaded, the invisible realm is waiting for us to download and engage. That's how ideas are always being broadcasted to us. But the question is, are we trusting those ideas? Are we leaning in? This world is going to be changed by ideas, friends. And some of those ideas are as innocent as those ones that you are having in your mind today. They are as innocent and as... See, when you see a baby, a newborn baby, you cannot know if that baby is going to become a chief, going to become a president, going to become a businessman. You have no clue. But the potential is there. All you need to do is to nurture the baby little by little, faithfully. But you and I know one thing for sure. You can abort the baby. You can throw the baby out in the forest and the baby can be eaten up. It doesn't take away the fact that the potential was in that baby and the baby could have become a president. How many presidents have been aborted? How many business people have been aborted? How many solution providers have been aborted? The same thing with ideas. And these ones do not discriminate. Just like anybody else can be able to give a birth to a baby or take care of a baby, the same thing, anybody else can give birth to an idea through tuning into the message of instinct or the channel of instinct, and you bring an idea to fruition on this earth. But the problem is we are always doubting the instinct, always doubting our instincts every working day and not taking our instincts seriously. And today in the podcast, I want to see some of the ways in which we doubt our instinct, or one of the reasons as to why we doubt the instinct. But know this for a fact: anything major being done, Coca-Cola, instinct; Apple, instinct; IBM, instinct. Anything that you see, any conglomerate that you see, big or small, education, governance, whatever, business, all those things, ladies and gentlemen, they came because of instinct. When you listen to the story of any business person, any entrepreneur, they will tell you things when they were starting, they were not empirical, felt, seen. It was an idea in the spirit which was downloaded by instinct, and they only applied ruthlessness, faithfulness, commitment, determination, trust, and faith into the idea and into the instinct, and they moved on with it. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, nothing comes fully formed. This guy called Mark Zuckerberg told us this. He was giving a speech, a commencement speech at Stanford, I believe. And he said ideas don't come fully formed. Same thing with instinct. Every time instinct gives you something, it is not fully formed. What we lack today, ladies and gentlemen, is the discipline to download and to be impregnated with an idea and to mull with an idea long enough for it to become firm and strong to stand on its own. I think it was Einstein, no, not Einstein, it was Edison who said that the reason as to why I'm successful is because I stay with problems longer than very many people. The same thing applies with ideas. Staying long with an idea, longer with an idea. It's just like that. The first time I wrote a book, ladies and gentlemen, I did not know that I could write a book. I didn't know. I couldn't picture myself having a book, a volume with a name on my name on top of it, with ideas in there. And then I started writing. Before I could finish writing that book, I can guarantee you I had a title for my next book, and my next book, and my next book. Yesterday, I was reading a book by Michael Gelb about Discover Your Genius, and as I was reading that book, I had an outline for my own book, to be able to write. Ideas are always going to be there, friends. It is because we don't see the extent of how they're going to go, and that's why we do not download them and we are not faithful and we're not trusting. So I'm going to look at some of the reasons as to why we don't trust the ideas and we don't trust instinct. And number one today that we're going to look at is the fear component. Fear of the unknown. Instinct sometimes beams to you an idea that is so unconventional, unreasonable, and for the most part it gives the scantest information ever. The guy who said the earth is not round, the earth is not flat, it is round. It was a theory. And the other day I was talking about theories on this podcast, that I'm a theoretical guy. I have very many theories. Those theories, ladies and gentlemen, are being downloaded in my spirit through instinct. And there is the fear of the unknown. These ideas are unconventional. They are unreasonable. They are not empirical. In other words, they are not known in this world. They are not felt in this world. They are not proven in this world. They are not tested. The problem we do have, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are operating purely on the seen, the counted, the felt, the touched, the documented, the tested, the experimented on. That's what we want to move with. And we don't move with the things that are unreasonable, things that are unconventional, things that are unknown, untested, and untried. But every idea is in that realm. Every idea is in the realm of the untested, the unconventional, the untried, the unexperimented, the unseen, the untouched. Facebook was there, Instagram was there, IBM was there, Microsoft was there, Apple was there. Each and every one of those things you see around you was in that realm of the unfelt, untested, unconventional, unreasonable. And the reason as to why we don't trust this, ladies and gentlemen, the reason as to why we don't trust instinct is because we're operating in the empirical world, in the felt world, and we are afraid of the unknown. It is unclear, and you have no clue how it will turn out. So you just retreat back and you go to the things that you know, things that you've experienced. Our problem, remember, is that we want to see everything first before we can embrace. We want to have it tested and proven. We want this board of directors who hear our idea. These Shark Tank people who will hear our idea and they will tell us. How many ideas have you seen on Shark Tank, if you know what I'm talking about, that have been thrown out? That this idea will not run out. And those guys have stuck with their idea and it has become a business. There are quite a number. I can write a book out of that, by the way. There are quite a number. That is our major problem. We have this fear. We want everything to be proven. We want everything to be right. The more information we have, the more comfort we get to moving ahead. The less information we have, the less trusting we are on the idea. We fear that which we have little information about. Martin Luther King told us this. He said, and talking about that guy, don't get me started. His idea was what? His idea was freedom. His idea was liberty. His idea was equality. It was unconventional. You have to understand that by the time Martin Luther King Jr. was saying, I have a dream, it was unconventional. It was unknown. You couldn't fathom it, even himself. Even his own people could not fathom and believe that what this guy was talking about is a possibility. There was fear that we were operating on. He said, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. See, instinct does not sense at all, does not give you all the information that you need, and it doesn't have to. Instinct just is. And you need to learn to start trusting, especially when it has the connotations of the unconventional, the connotations of less information, the connotation of it is unreasonable. Nobody has done this before. But as long as the idea is there, don't abort it just yet. Play around with the idea. Stick around with the idea long enough. Long enough. Let it gestate. Just like a seed is planted, a seed is put into the ground. I know this, the seed has been proven to work before. And so other ideas have been proven to work before. Same thing. Take it as a seed. And you are the ground, and plant it in your spirit, plant it in your heart, plant it in your mind. Take pen and paper, start churning it around and mulling it over. Start talking to people and start staying with this problem long enough, like Edison said, until something comes out of it. Chances are that the idea that is going to revolutionize your family is with you today, and it's dormant, untested, unproven, unheralded, untrusted. You are not trusting it because you're afraid of how it might not turn out. In fact, you're afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of failure. There are very many ideas in 2020 and beyond that can revolutionize this world in health, in business, in education, in governance, in technology, in agriculture, in people relationships. Very many ideas that instinct has brought to you. Will you trust? Will you at least trust? Will you at least give it a month of daily considering, daily thinking, daily brainstorming about that idea? Where is the money going to come from? That's your assignment. It is a possibility. Well, until tomorrow, stay connected. Bye-bye. A special shout out to my mentor, Jeffrey Howard of Visionary Business University, found at mastermindmentor.com, who has graciously provided me with the soundtrack and the introductory track to this podcast. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.